Welcome to Beer Splaining. I am Beer Snob Esquire.
And I'm Hobby Hippo.
And today we're going to do another sour of the week because, you know what the hell?
Sour of the week. Or sour number 2 of the week.
That's right. Double sour of the week.
All right, today's second sour is Jream. Jream is from Burley Oak Brewing Company in Berlin, Maryland. It is a sour ale made with strawberry, raspberry, marshmallow, vanilla whipped icing, and lactose. 1 pint, 4.8% alcohol by volume.
How is it only 4.8 with all that sugar? That is
Strawberry,
so much sugar.
raspberry, marshmallow, vanilla whipped icing, Jream. Check out the can.
Wow.
All right, so sour fans here, just so you know, you want to roll these cans before you pour them. All right,
Yeah.
so set it down.
Just get
Give it a couple rolls here. You don't got to get too crazy with it. You want to give it a roll. That's to move
Mix
the
up-
sediment around,
Yeah.
basically. So
Mix up the sediment.
we're gonna crack this. We picked this up at 11th Street Liquors in Tracy, California. They've been doing great stuff as far as the acquiring of very good, very rare, very hard to find stuff. We'll just chain a little bigger pour
An
today.
amazing selection is what
That's
I'm
actually
told.
basically
Haven't
like
been
the
there
same pour.
myself,
All right, there you go.
but I hear the selection is just unbeatable.
All right, so there's a nice color on that one.
That looks gorgeous again.
Pour mine.
A little bit lighter than the last one, but really, really great color.
All right, yeah. So the color is
Nice
definitely
and
nice.
juiced
Yeah, we don't have crazy issues with the
Yeah,
sediment
much
this
closer
time. That's
color.
nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I like
Color's
the color.
good.
I like the head.
It looks like a strawberry raspberry beer
It does.
should look,
I agree.
for sure.
I agree.
All right, smell it.
Smell. Oh.
It smells great. I don't even know
berries.
vanilla icing. What is that?
How do you put vanilla ice like cheesecake? How do you put vanilla icing in beer?
It's like the vanilla icing with the cheesecake mellows the flavor, mellows the smell out. Like it's like tart. Like strawberry and raspberries can smell kind of tart, right? But then like it mellows it out. I think marshmallow too.
Is it then maybe the yeast dies off at a certain alcohol level because all that sugar should just get eaten. All that sugar just should turn into alcohol. So I don't understand how it's keeping all the berry sugars and the frosting sugars.
They could put it on
In
like
the beer.
fermentation, right? But,
Yeah, but most of these things would re-ferment. If you put sugar into beer and then
guess
put it in
that's
something, they'd start re-fermenting. So I don't know. Maybe there's something about the souring process that does it.
It fucking smells
It
great.
does. Oh, it smells amazing.
Let's
I think
try
the
this.
other one
Let's try.
smells
Let's
better.
try. Let's try.
This one smells great. Cheers. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Go ahead, Shane.
Hold on, because I'm in the third layer of flavor here. Okay. First layer, you get a little bit of that sweetness, and then the tartness jumps in
The
behind
raspberry
it.
tart nails you
Just
second.
right.
Boom.
And then it just smooths, and now vanilla.
Smooths out.
Wow.
Once it leaves your mouth, yeah, then you get the vanilla, just like we got the cheesecake on the last
I
one.
don't know how you do that.
Sits on your palate.
That's artistry. That's what it is. It's artistry. This is, oh my.
This is like another easy 4.5.
I agree.
beer
Yep.
On an untapped.
This is
sure.
definitely find a way to get a bottle of this or a can of this.
Yeah, it's
This
the marshmallow. Do you get the marshmallow? Is the marshmallow coming to you?
I'm not getting much marshmallow. I don't think. But realistically speaking, marshmallows don't have a lot of flavor. I think that's more texture.
Marshmallow typically in beers is almost always used as a euphemism for vanilla.
Right.
So
Or
it's
creaminess.
possible.
Yeah, but I get a little of the vanilla, but I'm just getting all the berries.
Every time I read a recipe about a marshmallow this, marshmallow that, they're just like, and add some vanilla. You're just like, that is vanilla and marshmallow are not actually the same
not the
thing.
same.
But that's always the answer. They're just like,
And then
add vanilla.
Vanilla and lactose is pretty much how you're going to get your marshmallow flavor.
I mean, I don't get a lot of, but there's also vanilla icing, so I'm getting vanilla. So that actually could be the marshmallow. Like, it could be like kind of a mixture.
You're right. It could be. I get the vanilla, but it's.
The strawberry and the raspberry are there for sure.
I think it's a little bit understated. The raspberry.
Raspberry's probably the strongest flavor, I
I
think.
agree, and which is fine with me because I love raspberries. So
Still
it's
smells
a
good, though.
great flavor. Oh,
Yeah, this is a fantastic beer. If you can pick up some Jream,
Jream.
you want it. I tried the blueberry one as well.
okay.
It was very good, actually. I think it might actually be a little better than this one. It's very
Really?
close, though. It's very good.
This is. I think the other one was slightly better than this one
Yeah.
with the cheesecake, but that's just because I think that's the difference is the cheesecake just gave it that extra little bit different.
Cheesecake lingered longer than the vanilla icing does, I think.
But I certainly wouldn't.
Maybe it's probably me. I like the smoothie sour texture. I like the lactose.
Yeah.
I like the way
Yep.
the mouthfeel is like advanced by the lactose on a sour. I think
I agree.
gives you a little more creamy smell.
I agree.
or
But
feel.
this, and also I probably better up at 4%. This is one of those ones.
You could drink a couple
No,
of
I'm gonna
these.
get torn up. I don't know what else to say. This
Yeah,
is
it's
just
good.
this is just a really good beer.
It's good. That's
Cheers
Jream
to
Blue Burley Oak Brewing Company in Berlin, Maryland. I wish I could say I'm going to go there one day, but Maryland's not super high on my list of places to go.
Not even for the soft shell crab and.
Yeah, dude, I don't eat crab.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if I'm going East Coast, right? Like, if I'm going East Coast, like brewery hunting, like, I'm probably going to go to like where Treehouse and like those sort of areas are. It's Vermont, I think.
Vermont, yeah. The Northeast is probably.
I mean, this is in the Northeast too, so it's
Yeah.
possible I could roll there. Because honestly, I live in California, and for me, like, I think, oh my god, going somewhere else in the states 6 fucking hours. But it turns out
Right.
the East Coast is smaller than California.
Right, yeah. In 6 hours, you can get to a couple of different states.
So I could actually be able to go from Berlin, Maryland, to wherever Treehouse is, probably in 2 hours. I have to look at a map, but it's probably not that bad.
It's probably not that bad.
No worse than our rides to Santa Rosa.
Correct. Yeah, yeah. Like I say, yeah, in about 2.5 hours, you can get a lot of places.
So
especially, their train system and stuff over there is so much better than it is out here.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So maybe I will get there one day. I don't know. I know. So I ranted a little bit on our last Saturday of the Week show. Saying, do you have a rant you want to throw out today?
Do I have a rant I want to throw out?
We're going to talk about it. Something interesting.
Yeah, I kind of want to rant about the Dr. Seuss thing.
Go ahead.
Because I don't understand like people saying it's not racist because it kind of is racist.
I mean, I'm reasonably sure that it's. I think pictures of black people who look like monkeys is racist.
And yellow people referred to as Chinamen.
I don't entirely fault like Dr. Seuss himself for that because the 50s was clearly a very, very
it was a different time.
And I would not have been on board with some sort of like a cancel culture, like cancel Dr. Seuss thing, which did not happen.
Which is not what happened, which is my real rant.
Yeah.
That's not actually what happened. The people who make the Dr. Seuss books and publish them realize, hey, wait a minute, maybe this isn't the right thing to be publishing anymore.
It's not like they
stopped.
It's not like they stopped publishing Cat in the Hat.
Right. Yeah, they're not getting rid of Cat in the Hat. They're not getting rid of, all of the
Lorax,
really famous books.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, there's humor there too.
There's no If I Ran the Zoo fucking movie, is there?
No, there's not. No. And again, the Lorax one, that always cracks me up because there was a whole try to cancel Dr. Seuss because the Lorax was indoctrinating children to the left, but that's a whole other thing.
That's fucking crazy town. But
when that came out and the movie came out, it was all about, the left is trying to, make us all, anti-industrialism and all pro-environment. And I'm like, why is that a bad thing?
Wow.
Yeah,
I agree with you. The Dr. Seuss thing is totally insane. The other big one was Speedy Gonzales and Pepe Le Pew.
That's an interesting one, yeah.
But, the big question is, when was the last time you saw Pepe Le Pew or Speedy Gonzales in a cartoon?
I want to say 1984.
Can you cancel something that basically doesn't exist?
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Is it unreasonable to just be like, yeah, we decided not to put Pepe Le Pew in the new Space Jam because, he's kind of fucking sketchy?
Kinda. You go back and watch those shows, and it is one of those things. You go back and watch those shows, and
it's
you're
true
like,
love, man. It's always the same girl.
It's always the same girl, and it is true love, and it's stalker. So yeah, I get not putting Pepe Le Pew in because in the end, what else was he?
There's no loss there. Like not putting Pepe Le Pew in Spaceman.
It's not like you're ditching Bugs Bunny.
There's no loss,
right? Yeah. So I don't call it cancel culture when it's especially when it's the fringes. But
the entirety of cancel culture really kind of bugs me a little bit because cancel culture is just straight up using the free market to punish ideas that you do not agree with.
And
which I think is kind of how the free market's supposed to work.
I thought it was. I mean, it's funny that it was cancel culture when you're doing Dr. Seuss, but I don't know if you're, probably most of you aren't old enough to remember when they were having all these huge boycott Disneys because all of their movies were showing single parent, single mom homes. And so there was a huge push to boycott Disney. That's not cancel culture?
Right. I mean, the free market does what it does. The reality is, if they could make a bunch of money by pushing out a bunch of Pepe Le Pew cartoons
they'd be putting them out.
They would put out some Pepe Le Pew cartoons, but no one's going to buy those, right? And these fools who went out and were like, I bought all the Dr. Seuss books. You know what they bought? All the books that, they could have bought anyway.
I had...
Was there really a run on its fucking If I Ran the Zoo books?
No. I
bought
the whole Dr. Seuss collection. The only one of the ones that they stopped publishing that I ended up getting was Mulberry,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. All the rest of them I'd never even heard of. And we had 30 or 40 Dr. Seuss books. So it isn't. It's not like it's something that there was some huge demand for. Yeah, and they disappeared.
Boycotting is not cancel culture. Boycotting is literally the free market at work.
It's how the market works.
Push ideas.
That's correct.
It's worked in a bunch of things. I think it's always worked in a bunch of things.
Yes.
Forever, basically.
You don't like Facebook, you go to Parler. That's not cancel culture.
Yeah, boycott
That's
Facebook.
free market.
I mean,
Right?
really,
That's how it
everyone
works.
probably should, but whatever.
Yeah,
It's fine.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
What are you
No,
gonna
that's a good rant. I totally agree with you. I think it went a little off the rails on people with this whole thing.
I agree. So
Cancel
that was my
culture's a
rant.
weird thing,
My
so.
what I'm sour about this week.
There are definitely some instances of like quote cancel culture that I think are probably a little overboard. But I mean, at the same time, like I'm a white male who's like 40 and has a decent job, so none of it really affects me that much.
And that was kind of the thing that I said about it too. It's like
hard.
It's hard for me to say that that's appropriate because I'm a white man in my
50s. Sorry.
50s now. So, but so I grew up and I know that and I experienced it. But that doesn't mean it was right. It didn't feel wrong back then. But I would not. If a Pepe Le Pew movie came out, I'm not going to go see it.
Right. I mean, I loved Revenge of the Nerds, but the fact of the matter is, the dude dressing up in a weird costume and banging a girl, that's clearly rape.
Yeah.
That dude would be in jail now.
He would be in jail. That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
regardless of how many orgasms he apparently gave her during the Revenge of the Nerds
that is
show.
correct. That is correct. Yeah. So I
And that show's hilarious.
It is. It's funny.
It's great.
It's funny. You just
It does make it not a little problematic. It's great though.
It is.
I would still watch it now, but I recognize that it's problematic.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't disagree with that at all.
When you're watching, you don't even realize how problematic it is.
No, you were thinking about it.
You think about it later.
And then, well, even like I say, back then you weren't even. It didn't plug that way. That wasn't. And now you look back at it and you kind of go, oh. Yeah, that's.
You're not supposed
that's
to do
a little,
that. That
that's
is
a little
not
rapey.
a thing you're supposed
That's
to
a little
do.
rapey. So yeah, I don't.
It's not informed consent.
I happen to agree with you that it does appear to be overboard when you call it cancel culture. It is supposed to be how the free market works, and if you like something, you pay for it, and if you don't like something, you don't pay for it, and that's not anything other than how they want capitalism to
I
work.
feel like versus certain very specific celebrities, it's a little weird. Like if you find out someone posted something on Twitter 10, 12 years ago, right, and then like in more recent years they sort of like reversed their. I think you have to give people levity to have changed their minds.
I agree,
especially in the last 15, 20 years.
I agree.
Because 20 years ago, I was a very different person than I am today.
I agree.
And I think that anyone who's shown growth should be.
And
I can give that levity. I think you have.
We
to
should expect that from everybody. I mean, the
have to
reality of
hope
the
for that
situation
for
is
everybody.
we're right. None of us should be. If you're 40, you shouldn't be the same person you were when you were 20. You shouldn't. That's just how it should be.
Yeah.
And if you can't grow and you won't grow, that's scary. That should be scary.
Yeah, absolutely. You should be making changes. If you are the same person at 40 that you were at 20, you probably really should have got out more and met more people.
Yes. Open up the breadth of knowledge. So.
All right, enough ranting, I guess. Cheers.
Cheers.